In Luke 17, chapter 20, Jesus addresses a diverse crowd, farmers, fishermen, and even tax collectors, on a hillside in Galilee. He speaks of God's kingdom not as a political revolution, but as a spiritual reality. His teachings challenge societal norms, emphasizing humility and divine justice. This scene sets the stage for understanding the kingdom's paradoxical nature, present yet unfolding, visible in acts of love and mercy. The Pharisees, known for their strict adherence to Jewish law, confront Jesus in a synagogue. They demand tangible proof of God's kingdom. Luke 17:20. Their question reflects a common misconception, expecting a militaristic Messiah. Jesus' response subverts their power-centric worldview, hinting that the kingdom transcends physical boundaries and is already manifesting through his ministry of healing and inclusion. Jesus' statement in Luke 17:21, "The kingdom of God is within you," revolutionizes spirituality. The Greek word entos can mean among or within, suggesting both communal and personal dimensions. Archaeologists note this aligns with Jewish inner circumcision concepts, Deuteronomy 36. The kingdom isn't a location, but God's active reign in human hearts and relationships, visible when people embody divine love. Jesus uses the mustard seed, Matthew 13:31-32, a tiny but fast-growing plant, to illustrate God's kingdom. Botanists confirm black mustard, Brassica nigra, grows up to 3 meters tall in Palestine. This metaphor counters expectations of instant grandeur. Like the seed, the kingdom starts insignificantly, 12 disciples, but becomes a shelter for all nations, echoing Ezekiel's prophecy, Ezekiel 17:23, of a cosmic tree. The leaven, yeast parable, Matthew 13:33, reveals the kingdom's subversive nature. Historical sources show leaven symbolized corruption to Pharisees, but Jesus repurposes it. Just as first-century bakers used sourdough starter, only 3% of dough weight, small acts of kindness permeate societies. The kingdom works invisibly yet irreversibly, like fermentation transforming flour into nourishing bread. Rabbinic law stipulated that finding buried treasure in a field required purchasing the land. Jesus' parable, Matthew 13:44, reflects this context. The man's joy mirrors the Hasidim's ecstatic worship. The kingdom's value surpasses all possessions, not because it's otherworldly, but because recognizing God's reign here and now reorients one's entire life toward radical generosity. In antiquity, pearls symbolized wisdom. Pliny the Elder recorded pearls as Rome's most expensive luxury. The merchant, Matthew 13:45-46, represents disciples who relinquish status, like Peter abandoning his fishing business. The kingdom demands everything because it offers everything: reconciliation with God, self, and creation. This costly joy contrasts with superficial religiosity. The Samaritan, Luke 10:25-37, embodies the kingdom's borderless love. Josephus records Jewish Samaritan tensions, making this story shocking. The wounded man's location on the Bloody Pass Road, descending from Jerusalem to Jericho, was notorious for bandits. By using oil wine, ancient first aid kits, the outsider proves the kingdom isn't about dogma, but practical compassion that crosses ethnic divides. Cultural studies reveal the younger son's request for inheritance, Luke 15:11-32, was equivalent to wishing his father dead. Yet the father's sprint, undignified for first-century elders, mirrors God's scandalous grace. The ring and robe signify reinstatement as heirs. The kingdom isn't earned. It's a gift that restores dignity to those who return, challenging merit-based religiosity. Archaeologists place Gethsemane on the Mount of Olives slope, with ancient olive presses. Jesus' prayer, Luke 22:42, reveals the kingdom's heart, surrendering human will to God's. The cup evokes Jeremiah's imagery of divine wrath. By drinking it, Jesus demonstrates that God's reign advances not through force but sacrificial love, a paradigm shift from earthly kingdoms to the cross as the throne.